Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our April online event series. Today's webinar is with our host, Hazen.
Hi.
From McCain Foods, and he's going to be talking about the recruitment process and HR policies and all the job positions they might have at McCain and how it all works, and he's going to talk about his experience as well.
Great, thank you so much for that introduction. So, hi guys, I'm so excited to be able to do this presentation today. I wanted to be able to partner with ACCES just to talk a little bit more about McCain Foods. So we'll get into a little bit about that in a minute, but first I wanted to tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm actually a recent addition to the McCain Foods Canada team. I started late in 2017, so I've been with them a few months now. Prior to McCain, I've had a lot of experience within professional services. If you look on my LinkedIn profile, you'll see that I came from PwC and then KPMG, where my main focus and client groups were a lot of our marketing, HR, finance, and IT opportunities. My main focus now that I've moved over here to McCain Foods has been supply chain and logistics, sales and marketing for all of our offices and regions across the US and Canada. I do actually have 3 other colleagues that sit down in one of our offices in the US. They do a lot of our recruitment for finance, information technology, some other parts of supply chain as well. But if you ever have any questions about any roles that you see online, I am very active on LinkedIn, so you can always feel free to reach out to me and ask any questions about any roles that you may see as well. A bit of a background kind of before I started working as well. I received my Bachelor's of Commerce from the University of Ottawa in 2011. I started off working for PwC in Ottawa right after that, and then had the chance to relocate to Toronto, where I've been ever since. I've had a bit of a varied background within HR. I've had the chance to do a couple of different roles as an HR generalist. I was an HR systems specialist for a little while, and then really found my passion in recruitment, and I've been doing that ever since. It's something that I really enjoy doing, and it's something that I really enjoy these opportunities to get a chance to chat with potential candidates as well. So I wanted to give a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about today. So firstly, I wanted to go over an introduction to McCain Foods, talk a little bit about who we are, what we do. We are a global organization. We do have a lot of opportunities within Canada and the US, as I mentioned, and that'll transition me into groups and opportunities. So I'm going to talk about kind of our main client groups, our main business focuses within McCain, and I'll also touch on a couple of different opportunities, give you some examples of different roles within each group. It's by no means an exhaustive list because we do have a huge amount of people that work for us here in Canada, but hopefully it gives you a good understanding of some of the roles that we've recruited for quite recently or are currently recruiting for at this time. And then I wanted to talk a little bit more about the interview preparation and process that we use here at McCain Foods. I'll go over a little bit more about what you can expect once you submit an application, how you can create career alerts with us, what the interview process generally looks like, and hopefully shed a little bit of light onto our process here. So I know that there was actually quite a big response of some people knowing a little bit more about us here at McCain Foods. You had some familiarity with us in the past. But what I wanted to do is give you kind of a quick overview of who we are and what we do. So we are a Canadian family-owned and operated company, started in 1957 by the McCain family out in New Brunswick. They started off with a very small group of people, started by 2 brothers, started off with 1 French fry plant, and we've kind of ballooned into this global organization that we are today. Currently, we are the world's largest manufacturer of frozen French fries and potato specialties. And 1 in every 3 fries, this is a fact that we like to tell people a lot, 1 in every 3 fries sold worldwide is a McCain French fry. And so if you want to think about that, that's about 100 million servings a day, which is a mind-boggling amount of French fries sometimes if you think about it. Our products can be found in over 160 countries around the world, and we have a little over 20,000 employees and 53 production facilities on 6 continents. Our global head office actually sits here in Toronto. We're located right downtown. Our Canadian head office is actually out in Florenceville, New Brunswick. If you've never heard of Florenceville, it's a small town located probably about an hour away from Fredericton. has a fairly small population, but we do have around 1,000 employees that work out in Florenceville right now. Florenceville, even though it's a small town, it's a very multicultural place. We've taken in people from all across the world, so there's people with different backgrounds, different types of experiences. So it's a small town with a very kind of multicultural urban type of feel, which is really nice. And then we do have an office in Heartland, New Brunswick as well. That is where a company called Day & Ross is located. And Day & Ross is actually a transportation company that is owned by McCain Foods. I'm not going to talk too much about them because they do have a bit of a separate recruitment process than we do. They do have their own recruitment team, but when you do go on our McCain website, you will find Day & Ross opportunities included there. So hopefully I'll touch on a couple of them today. And if you do have any questions again about that recruitment process or potential opportunities, please feel free to let me know as well. So those are our head offices located here in Canada. We have regional offices across Canada, the US, in the United Kingdom, Australia and New Zealand, South Africa, Korea, Southeast Asia and Taiwan, South America, continental Europe, Middle East and Northern Africa, India, China, and Japan. So we are truly a global organization, currently sitting around $9 billion of global sales each year, and that was taken from some numbers that we did last year as well. So I think a lot of people, when they think of McCain Foods, especially here in Canada, they think that we are mainly a manufacturing company, and we do have a lot of production plants all over the world. We have 8 located here in Canada, we have 11 in the US, and you can see some of our locations across the world as well. If you think of the 100 million servings of French fries that are served each day around the world, that does take a lot of production. I was actually out in our New Brunswick office a couple of weeks ago, and I got the chance to visit one of our smaller plants out there. And just to give you an idea of the volume of each of these plants, they were doing about 4 million pounds of potatoes in terms of production every single day. So that is the amount of production and the amount of potatoes and products that we really go through on a regular basis. So it's a huge market for us. Like I said, a lot of different plants all around the world as well. So kind of like I mentioned before, I think a lot of people associate McCain Foods with a lot of manufacturing opportunities, but like I'm going to talk about in a minute, we do have a number of professional opportunities that we staff for as well. So you can see some of the different examples of different types of opportunities up here. We have people like plant managers, maintenance managers, and supervisors in our plants. But in terms of professional roles, we have HR representatives, we have brand managers, we have auditors and product development managers, and those are the individuals that kind of keep us running on a regular basis in terms of more corporate roles as well. So I wanted to go over today about 7 main groups, and I'm not going to spend too much time on each group today, just in the interest of time on our presentation. But I wanted to go through our IT groups, our finance and accounting group, HR, logistics and supply chain, sales and marketing, science and engineering, and then our skilled trades and production opportunities as well. So first off, I'll start with our information technology group. So this is obviously the team that kind of helps keep all of our systems running on a North American and a global basis. Working with all of our internal systems, making sure that everyone operates effectively. And the team includes kind of 2 sides of different staff members as well. We have kind of more of the technology folks that do, kind of network analysis and systems work. And then we do have more operations IT folks as well. So we have support analysts, we have vendor managers, people that work externally with our different vendors and systems and things like that as well. And we have roles spanning all different backgrounds and skill levels. So, we have entry-level roles up until national IT directors and people like that as well. Our IT opportunities are mainly located in our Florenceville, New Brunswick office. So that is where our global IT team actually sits out of. But all of our regional offices as well have local IT staff to help with more day-to-day issues and systems problems that people might come up with. Some of the current and past roles that we've recruited for within our information technology sector include a systems analyst role. So that's someone who takes a look at the application scope and objectives for new technologies, records information on specifications, requirements, and ensures that systems and upgrades run smoothly. Recently, we just recruited for an IT support technician out of our Toronto office. And that's someone who is in charge of the maintenance and effective utilization of systems and hardware. So they're the individual that would assist employees with, new devices and programs, answering questions and troubleshooting. Recently, we also posted a role as well for a business analyst in our vendor management group. And that's actually someone with a lot of technical knowledge, still sits within our IT team, but someone who works a lot with our vendors as well. So they maintain a lot of the relationship, they communicate needs from the McCain point of view, and they provide direction on any new projects that are coming down the pipeline as well. And lastly, one role that I wanted to highlight that we're still recruiting for is a solutions architect. So that's someone that provides oversight to data warehousing, identifying and evaluating architectural options, and making recommendations to align with our business processes as well. And then next, I wanted to talk a little bit more about our finance and accounting group too. So we do have a number of positions spread across all of our offices within finance and accounting. So we do have opportunities within Toronto, Florenceville, and across the United States as well. These are individuals that will obviously support a lot of our internal functions. I think that's where a lot of our groups have been focused in the past. They will support on a North American basis, and then we do have some finance teams that support on a global basis as well. So we do have some finance individuals that travel around the world. They travel to all of our global offices. So there's some really exciting opportunities within our finance and accounting teams here at McCain. Some of the current roles that we've posted for recently, we were just looking for a senior financial analyst. So that was someone who worked internally, mostly with our sales teams. So they're the individuals that liaise with our sales teams when it comes to costing, when it comes to competitive analysis, product capacity, customer information. They're the individuals that actually make recommendations on pricing and costing and things like that. They work very closely, like I said, with our sales teams. Recently, we were also looking for a tax accountant sitting out of our Florenceville office. And that was someone who was responsible for tax compliance, accounting processes, and preparation of tax returns as well. So for us, that was a bit more of a junior role for someone in the accounting field that we were looking for. And then lastly, we are currently looking for a payroll officer as well. So that's someone who helps to manage all of our payroll processes, answers questions and queries from our staff, and processes new hires and separations. So a very typical payroll role, still sitting within our finance and accounting team, but a very exciting opportunity as well. And I would say that we do have a large number of finance and accounting professionals, again, kind of spread across Toronto, New Brunswick, and the United States as well. So human resources is actually a fairly large group for us currently here at McCain. Again, we do have opportunities on a North American scale as well as on a global scale. So for example, my role sits within our North American Human Resources team, since I work across Canada and the United States. But we also have global human resources professionals that look at our global pay scales, look at our benefits packages from a global perspective. And our human resources team, interestingly enough, also includes our internal and external communications teams. So if we think about any of our branding opportunities from an employment branding perspective, if we think about communications that go out on our website or go out on any of our social media channels, that group actually falls within our HR group as well. I think a lot of people would expect that to fall under marketing, but we actually have grouped that in with human resources, and that's a global opportunity as well. Most of our global HR team does sit within our Toronto office, and most of our North American HR team actually sits between New Brunswick and the United States. So again, there are a lot of HR opportunities that are kind of spread across all of our offices around Canada and across North America. Some of the most recent roles that we have recruited for here have been an HR generalist. So that was someone at a bit more of a junior level that was supporting our leadership in the business on all HR matters, policies and processes, performance management, disciplinary action, policy development, really just kind of someone who did a very general HR role. We also were seeking a little while ago a benefits analyst, so someone who worked on our North American team from a benefits perspective, looking at administering our benefits program for all McCain employees, answering questions, tracking invoices, doing vendor management, that type of thing. And very recently, we have been looking for and still are searching for an internal communications business partner. So that's someone who is planning, coordinating, and deploying our corporate communication strategy on a regional level for all of North America. That's someone who works with all of our internal communications, so anything that would go out to any staff members across McCain in North America. And they actually also support our external branding team as well. So they do a lot from an employment branding perspective, talking about the opportunities at McCain and really making us an attractive employee to, or an attractive employer rather, to anyone who may be searching for jobs as well. So that's a little bit about our HR team and some examples of some of the roles that we have had recently or in the recent past that we've hired for. If we look at our logistics and supply chain team, I think this is a group that we really rely on heavily. So any consumer packaged good or food and beverage company really relies a lot on their logistics and supply chains team to make sure that we are accurately planning for the demands of our customers, to make sure that we're accurately shipping our products from one place to another. So we do have a huge logistics and supply chain team that does sit here in Canada. And it's a large and very important part of our business units. Most of our logistics and supply chain roles do sit out of our Florenceville, New Brunswick office, as well as out of our office in the US. So that's actually located in Chicago, so there are opportunities in both offices. And one thing that I did want to touch on that is a little bit interesting from a McCain point of view, we have what we call our Supply Chain Leadership Development Program. And this is actually a program that we hire for externally. This is a program where we bring people into our supply chain and logistics groups, and it is intended to develop our supply chain leaders and look at succession planning when we look at our supply chain leadership groups as well. So we actually have individuals do a rotational program. They go through 3 rotational assignments, and that could be anything from our logistics coordination team, our customer service team. They could go through as a demand planner or a supply planner. So you actually get the opportunity to rotate 3 different groups here at McCain. You get the opportunity to look at logistics and supply chain from a very holistic point of view. And then after that rotation is over of those 3 groups, you actually get placed into either one of those groups that you have already experienced, or you have the chance to potentially go into a different area of logistics and supply chain. And this has been a really successful program for us so far. We find that people have really enjoyed getting the chance to learn about different aspects of the business. Here at McCain, we are very much committed to having individuals take different opportunities in different areas and get a very holistic point of view of our business. We really think that that supports our leadership development, and from a succession planning perspective, that's really important to us. So this supply chain leadership development program has been something that has been very popular and has garnered a lot of interest so far. It's actually an opportunity that you can still currently find on our website. So if you're interested, you're more than welcome to submit an application to that as well. Some of our current and recent roles that we've posted for specifically within supply chain and logistics has been customer service generalists. So in terms of customer service for us, when we think of supply chain, this is someone who supports our customers and our clients with questions around orders, shipments. They deal with a lot of our import-export paperwork. They enter and tender orders, and they liaise with the billings team in terms of invoicing and things like that as well. We have currently been searching for a logistics administrator as well. So that's someone who processes a lot of our carrier claims. They deal with transportations and shipping within North America, and they make sure that our products actually get delivered on time to our customers and to our distributor networks as well. And lastly, one role that I wanted to touch on at a bit more of a senior level, we have been looking as well for a North American logistics director. So that is someone who has all oversight to the transportation and warehousing that happens within North America. That's someone who really kind of looks at the bigger picture, the strategy of how we properly deliver to our customers, and they kind of come up with the overall current and future strategy for the supply chain and logistics group within North America as a whole. So like I said, a very important and integral part of our business, being a CPG company, we do have quite a lot of opportunities that happen within logistics and supply chain, and we do hire a number of individuals within our offices that do have that type of background as well. So sales and marketing is the next group that I wanted to go over. This is a really interesting group, again, because we are a consumer packaged goods organization. We really rely heavily on our sales teams to be getting the name out there, getting the word out there about our products, and really working to build up our brand and build up awareness of the McCain brand. So from a sales perspective, we actually have individuals that work on the road. We have individuals across Canada, so in every single province and region all around Canada, both on the retail side of things and what we call the food service sales team. So retail sales is more kind of selling to, let's say, grocery stores. If you're going to go in and see a package of McCain products that you can actually buy in a store, that is what our retail team does. And then on the food service side of things, they're actually the ones that partner up with a lot of restaurants, fast food chains, chains across different provinces or across the country. And they're the individuals that go in and they will put McCain products on a menu. So they will sell McCain French fries or potato products directly to a customer through a restaurant. Our marketing team is focused mostly around traditional medias and brand management. So on the traditional media side of things, you have opportunities within web design, graphic design. We have social media teams that work here at McCain as well. And we also have our brand management team roles. So our brand management team, we consider a bit more of a general management type of role. It still sits within marketing, but it's really someone who comes from a very diverse type of background, someone who can really manage all aspects of the brand. So some of that is our agency relationships. Some of that is taking a look at competitive analysis of what other organizations are doing, how we're positioned in the marketplace. So brand management, we actually have some interesting opportunities that happen within that team. And we do take people from all different types of backgrounds, so not specifically sales and marketing backgrounds, but we do consider individuals from all different backgrounds and experiences. I would say that a lot of our marketing and brand teams are centered within Toronto. Like I said, our sales teams are really spread out across the country. So wherever you are, whatever province you might be in, there are opportunities on our sales teams as well. And then we do have a small art and design team that sits out in our New Brunswick office. So that's a team of web designers and graphic designers that do a lot of our packaging for products, and they do a lot of our things that revolve around our website and branding and things like that as well. In terms of current and previous roles, I think I touched on a couple of those. But currently we are looking for a food service sales representative. So that, again, is someone who works with our restaurant partners and accounts to get McCain products onto a specific menu that is going out to their customers. We're currently looking for an associate brand manager. So again, that's more of a general brand management role, working with every area of a specific brand. So that's anything from analyzing customer and competitive data, working with the marketing team on promotions, and they do a lot of our work with external agencies as well. And we currently do have an opportunity for a graphic designer in New Brunswick on our art and design team, someone to do a lot of work with our packaging design. They help design our labels and everything really McCain related. So it's a really interesting role too. Our sales and marketing team has a large number of opportunities. So if it is something that you're interested in, there are opportunities that come up within sales and marketing quite frequently, because recently we have also been growing our teams. So I think that there are a lot of opportunities to get involved in our sales and marketing teams as well. Science and engineering is something that I think that people don't necessarily associate with us here at McCain. A lot of people think that we are just a food production company, but there is actually a lot that goes on within science and engineering here at McCain as well. There's opportunities within our innovation teams, product development. We do have a number of industrial engineers that work with us as well. And these roles sit on both the corporate and the plant levels. So we do have individuals that work specifically within each of our plants across Canada. And we do have people that work at the corporate level. So some individuals that work here in Toronto, as well as out in New Brunswick. A lot of our plants are located within New Brunswick, Quebec, and Manitoba, so that's where a lot of these opportunities come up as well. Out in New Brunswick, we actually have a very interesting group and a very interesting location that we call our Potato Processing Technology Center. And it's a really cool group and a really cool industry to be a part of. They do a lot of work around how we can more effectively and efficiently produce our products. So that's where we hire a lot of our engineering teams into, to take a look at how our machinery works, how things come from a raw potato into a finished product, that type of thing. So there's a lot of opportunities that sit out there within an engineering perspective. Again, we do have product innovation and research and development teams. We hire a lot of food scientists as well to make sure that the way that we're producing our product is attractive to customers and that we're producing it in the most sustainable way possible as well. Recently, we've hired for 2 roles within science and engineering. One for a sensory technologist, which is actually someone who prepares and tests all of our products. That could be existing or new items that might be coming out. They operate all of our testing equipment, and they actually monitor and record all of the sensory type of things that happen when you eat a product. So what it smells like, what it might taste like, those types of things. So it's a really interesting and attractive role. That sits out of our Toronto office. And then recently we also hired for a food scientist out in New Brunswick. Again, that was someone who tested different types of batter, tested different cuts of fries, how things cook, how our products were deep fried, how our products turned out when they were baked. And there was a lot of interesting work that they were doing about analyzing new and current products to make sure that, again, we are coming up with innovative new products and that our current product lines are attractive to customers as well. The last group that I wanted to talk about is our skilled trades and production group. I think that we have a lot of opportunities within this group. This is a fairly large group of individuals that we do hire because we do have a number of plants all across Canada. So these individuals would be spread throughout our plant locations. I think, as I mentioned before, most of our plants are centered around New Brunswick, Manitoba, Quebec, and we do actually have one plant in Ontario as well. And so these are people that would work on our production lines. Our production lines actually operate 24 hours a day, so there's opportunities to work at different locations at any given time. We find that a lot of our employees appreciate the flexibility of being able to work different schedules and have the opportunity for that as well. One specific role and opportunity that I wanted to highlight was our plant management trainee program. This is very similar to the supply chain program that I talked about before. So this is how we really coach and train all of our future plant managers and our plant leadership teams. So coming into this program, you actually have the opportunity to experience all different types of roles within a plant. You get to work on a production line, you get to work within our packaging team, you really get to see all areas of production and what happens to get a raw potato to a finished product. And you also look at different things from a management perspective. So if you take a look at staffing, scheduling, budgeting, all of those types of things, that's all included in this plant management trainee program. Again, this is an opportunity that you can find online on our website. We're always accepting applications. We do take people externally that come into this program. We do sometimes tend to take people that have worked in a manufacturing environment before. So someone who has a background in manufacturing, a background in engineering, someone who comes from that type of background, we find that they fit well into this plant management trainee program. But again, we are very open to people from different backgrounds and different types of experiences as well. If we look at some of the other production opportunities that we have had recently or currently have right now, we're always looking for people at the production labor level. So that's someone who manages every step of production. So they unload and load materials, they do quality assurance, that type of thing as well. We're currently looking for a packaging operator in one of our plants. So that's someone who operates and works with our packaging equipment. There's a lot of opportunities for being able to learn different different areas of the packaging process. And there's also responsibilities around cleanliness and sanitization and making sure all of our technology and equipment is working properly on a regular basis. The one thing that I will say about our skilled trades and production groups is that we do support a lot of movement within these groups as well. So there's a lot of opportunities to move to different areas of the plant, experience different parts of the production process. And this has become more of a technological type of role as well, and more of a highly skilled role that we're looking to fill. As we work towards putting more technology into our process, we have been taking in more people who learn to operate different machines, different technological systems. A lot of things are becoming more technology-based for us here at McCain. So a lot of these roles are becoming more highly skilled, and there's a lot of opportunities for very interesting opportunities within our plant environment as well. So that kind of takes care of all the different groups that we hire for here at McCain. I think, like I mentioned at the beginning, this is definitely not an exhaustive list of all the opportunities that we do have. We have a number of opportunities that you can find online when we are hiring for them as well. Some of the things that I wanted to talk about and the benefits and the perks of working here at McCain, we do have a very generous benefits plan. So full medical and dental coverage for yourself and any dependents that you may have. We offer travel insurance as well as ample vacation for all of our permanent full-time roles. Vacation for every role here at McCain starts at 3 weeks and then goes up from there. And we do offer quite a robust bonus plan with a lot of our roles too. So that's something that we think really makes our opportunities attractive to potential candidates and job seekers. We offer a really great pension program here. So we do a lot of pension matching, and that's something that can help you plan for your future, help you plan for retirement. We offer flexible working hours with a lot of our roles. So the opportunity to have a better work-life balance if you work longer hours and a shorter week, or if you work flex hours during the week as well. There's a lot of opportunities to be very flexible and manage some of your family or outside commitments too. We have a very casual or business casual dress code here in McCain in all of our corporate roles, which we find makes for a very relaxed and casual, collaborative type of environment. And I think, kind of like I mentioned before, we have a lot of opportunities here at McCain, not only just within Canada and internally, but we do move a lot of people internationally as well. So if you are looking to get experience in Canada, if you're coming from somewhere else, or if you start in a role in Canada, we do find that we have a lot of international movement between offices across Canada, across North America. Again, it really makes for very well-rounded individuals within McCain, and that's how we train a lot of our leaders as well. We give them opportunities to move around, move to different groups, and experience different things within McCain. So we think that it's a great opportunity for people once you're in the door to be able to move around and experience a lot of different areas that we do have to offer. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about here before we get a little bit more into questions is the recruitment process here at McCain. So how does all of this work? You can find all of our opportunities that are posted at our website. So that's mccain.com/goodpeople. That's where you can go online. You can search through jobs by location, function, industry, that type of thing, and find something that's going to suit your needs and your background. You can also set career alerts on our website. So if for some reason you don't see something that quite matches your skills and experiences, you can actually set very tailored alerts. And our system will send you emails as soon as something's posted that might match your specifications. We always recommend creating a profile and doing that if you are interested in McCain, but you don't find any opportunities that suit your background at this time. One thing I will mention about the interview process, typically as a first stage in the interview process, someone from our recruitment team like myself will screen your resume. They will take a look at your background and your experiences. And the first round of interviews is going to be over the phone. Typically, we're going to want to talk a little bit more about your background, your experiences. We may touch on some behavioral-based questions as well. And then if you do move on to further rounds, typically those are in person, and those are typically behavioral-based interviews that we do here at McCain. Sometimes we do case studies with some of our roles as well, and a case study is just really to see how you think and how you process information. So you'll be given a pretend scenario or pretend situation, and we want to see how you work through that situation and provide a recommendation as well. We really find that the case study interview process has been very successful for us in the past. It's something that has really allowed us to gauge our candidate's skill level and gauge the way that you process information. So that's something that we're really rolling out a lot more into our interview process as well. Again, you can find all of our opportunities online at mccain.com/goodpeople. All of our opportunities are also posted on LinkedIn as well. So you can go and follow our LinkedIn page, keep up with us there. You can find me personally on LinkedIn under Hazen Andrews. I should have put this up there, but I didn't. So you can still find me as well. And we also have social media accounts on all other typical social medias. So if you go onto Twitter, if you're a big Twitter user, you can find our general account on @McCain Foods. You can find our specific recruitment account at @McCain Foods Jobs. We also have a number of YouTube videos that are out there that are really cool. Some of them are about our products and about McCain in general, so you can check those out. And we are also all over Facebook and Instagram in case you wanted to interact with us there as well. So with all that being said, I think I will pass it back over and we can see what type of questions that have come in, and I'm happy to shed any more information on us here at McCain Foods.
Thank you for your participation. We are very active on our social media, on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So feel free to follow us and send us in your questions over there as well. And we would love to hear from you. So if there is a survey at the end of the webinar, please fill it out so we know how to make things better for you. So thank you all for joining us. We hope to see you next week. And thank you, Hazen, for joining our webinar, and we're really looking forward to the job fairs.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all your questions and all your time.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day or evening.